Everybody shut up and action. Alright, let's talk about Dwayne The Rock Johnson's latest movie, Black Adam. Alright, so the story takes place in Kondak ages ago when the city of Kondak is enslaved by a new ruler and invader who takes over the country to get its people to mine for him for a rare mineral or material called Ethereum, which will help him build a devilish crown and give him really powerful powers. Dangerous powers people don't want him to have. And in search for freedom, a kid gets powers from the wizards who gave Shazam his powers, and he becomes Black Adam, and now he is back after all these years because Kondak needs a new hero. And that's basically the plot of the movie, and that's just the origins of Black Adam. We're seeing Black Adam in the DC universe, and he is one of the most badass heroes there is. I mean, you're seeing Kondak being oppressed for a long time, being oppressed by one ruler after another. People are constantly enslaved. And to see this hero return and with his savagery, it is wild. Seeing Black Adam just absolutely kill every oppressor, every person who is being portrayed as a villain. He feels like an anti-hero, but being portrayed as a hero, it is wild. You do love to see it. You love to see this guy kill everyone, and you're not even a guesser. You're like, yeah, kill this dude. And that's what we're here to see. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like, you're just getting hyped over seeing Black Adam kill people, and I mean, like, yeah, it's like against humanity, morals, and it's like, yeah, maybe heroes shouldn't be killing. It kind of kills the entire image of a hero. But like at the same time, you're like, nah, these oppressors deserve death. And it's like, you don't mind it at all. You just love this entire portrayal of Black Adam and his entire savagery. Like, it is just absolutely wild to see. And then you just see the Justice Society come into the picture and be like, oh no, you can't be killing. That's not what a hero does. You're no hero. And it's like, bruh, you're a hero. You're not even paying attention to this entire city being oppressed for 27 goddamn years. What the hell are you doing? What right do you have to judge? So it's kind of cool to see the entire city's perspective on the Justice Society for trying to stop Black Adam from killing these oppressors when the Justice Society ain't helping them for crap and to begin with. So yeah, that entire plot point of the story on its own was probably what I wish the story would focus on more, the entire battle between Black Adam and the Justice Society. But like then, of course, the movie doesn't go in that direction, and it's just trying to turn Black Adam into a more soulful hero, a more heroic hero to the hero term that the Justice Society defines. But yeah, it takes that turn, but like it does proceedingly get worse by taking that turn. But like it's still interesting to a degree. I mean, the story does get really boring. It introduces various characters aside from Black Adam, namely the people of Kondak, a kid from Kondak. This kid is like parallel to the kid who taught Shazam about being a superhero. He's teaching Black Adam to be a superhero, which in its own right is pretty hilarious to see Black Adam learn to come up with a catchphrase before beating up a villain. I mean, after being put to sleep for thousands of years, it's kind of cool to see this guy return and be like, oh, this is how it is? I am catchphrase. Boom. Killed. I forgot the catchphrase, but like, ignore that. But like, it's still cool to see that entire interaction, though I personally didn't like the kid too much because every time he opened his mouth, his entire acting performance was pretty cringe, and it's noticeably bad. But like, hey, it's I mean, I wish they retook some shots so that each scene where he speaks isn't so cringe. It's not that good of a performance. Like, I'm not expecting an out of this world performance, but come on, give something decent at least. But like, aside from him, like the other acting performances were fine. The Rock is pretty fine as Black Adam. He does a great job there. He looks amazing as Black Adam, to say the least. Dr. Fate and Hawkman, they're both pretty wild in their own right. They delivered some of the best performances in this movie entirely. I really love their characters. They're absolutely wild. And then we have two new Justice Society members called Adam Smasher and some other chick whose name I forgot. Adam Smasher, it just literally feels like they put these two trainees here to try and introduce these characters for the future of the DCEU, while at the same time give Adam Smasher a sort of comedic relief sort of character type of style right for now. And I mean, it's just like, no one knows who these characters are. Like, there's no real point to introduce them, but like, I don't know. I mean, the main reason I'm saying that is because there's no entire structure to the DCEU, and until they establish some sort of a structure, it just feels weird whenever they introduce characters no one knows. Or at least that's the vibe I got. And one thing I find really funny is that Adam Smasher is like a wannabe Deadpool. Like, with his mask, he already looks like he's trying to be Deadpool, but then his entire character just feels like it's a wannabe Deadpool in my opinion. So it was just kind of funny. That's all it really is. Hawkman is a really fun character in his own right, but he's also serious and a really cool character. Dr. Fate was probably one of my favorites aside from Black Adam in this movie. I really love this character. This movie doesn't get you too emotional, though you do get attached to like Dr. Fate, Hawkman, and Black Adam. Those are like the three characters that you will really love in this movie. I really enjoyed the performances. I love the characters in general, the entire portrayal. They were great. I really hope they don't change Black Adam from this soulless villain killer anytime in the future. And one thing I didn't like about Black Adam is how there are times in this movie when it's suddenly like out of nowhere. It's like suddenly he's caught up with society and the slangs they use. Like there were times when it's like he hasn't been taught slangs. It's like after being asleep for 5,000 years, you'd think like you're not aware of society's cultures and you're slowly learning, but like then suddenly out of nowhere while he's learning, he's dropping slangs, and it's like, how you know that? Why are you speaking like that? That shouldn't be you right now. So yeah, that's something I didn't like. And another thing I was wonky about is the CGI in this movie. Like for the most part, it's actually fine. I'm not gonna diss it, but it was fine, nothing special. Just like the bare minimum you require from a movie like of this caliber. But then at times it's just noticeably bad, and you're like, bruh. And it just gets annoying to see the bad CGI, and it's just sad to see it's like happens near the end or climax of the movie, and that was just a little disappointing. But hey, it's like it's noticeably bad, but it's nothing you'll care too much about because the fight scenes in this movie are pretty wild. I mean, aside from the fact that there's a slow-mo every 5 seconds in Injustice style, like, you know, if you've ever played Injustice on mobile, it's like, when you press the ability attack, it's like, ah, power boost, power boost, power boost, power boost, ha, boom, ha, power boost, power boost, power, boom. It's literally a slow-mo every 5 seconds, and it's like, what is the point? Like, it's not emphasizing anything, it's just like, for cool effect, boom, cool effect, boom. It's like, what? Yeah, but like aside from the consistent slow-mos, which get really annoying, the fights are actually pretty crazy. All the fight sequences are wild. The fights are crazy. They're CGI filled, not so much choreographed, but like CGI crazy fights, which is like another type of fight like you do love it and enjoy watching. They're pretty exciting to watch on screen, give that entire tense atmosphere that we love. But at times, like the fights do feel really fast-paced to a point where like it's hard to keep up with what's going on in the fight. But like for the most part, the fights are really enjoyable, really crazy, and a blast to watch on screen. I mean, aside from that, the movie is just pretty basic. It follows the generic storyline of a superhero movie like you'd expect. I was really hoping, after seeing the beginning of the movie, that we'd explore more into the deeper aspect of Black Adam being a soulless killer for villains after returning for 5,000 years, going against the Justice Society, who just left Kondak alone for like 27 years. I feel like that would have been a much more deeper and like sort of better story path to follow than the one we did, because it's something like at the end the story's just progressing. Oh, we need a villain, finally villain appear. Oh, like I mean, it's not like it's out of nowhere. Like I mean, it does make sense how the story does progress, but like it's just like feels like it's just placed there just for the fact that we need a villain. It's just like, it just feels like it's just placed there just for following the typical storyline when they could have gone somewhere else. But like, I mean, it's fine. It was still an interesting movie to a degree. And there is a plot twist at the end, which was actually a really enjoyable twist on Black Adam's character. Because, I mean, it does give vibes from the Flashpoint movie, where, the Flashpoint movie, the animated movie. But, like, it is really, honestly, that was a really exciting plot twist and really builds up some interest in Black Adam's character a lot. And I really love that character because it kind of gives some human emotion to his character. So, yeah, I really loved him for that aspect. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the entirety of the movie. It was a pretty interesting movie to watch, to say the least. I do rate it a 62%. I mean, although I did enjoy watching it, I will say it's not something that I was too crazy about. It just felt typical, generic, and I mean, not in a good way. It just felt really boring for a lot of the movie, but it was pretty exciting at times too. So I would say you should watch this at least once if you like superhero movies. If you want to potentially give DC a chance, check it out. If you're not into superhero movies and you're just looking for a good movie to watch, I wouldn't really suggest this. But it is what it is. It's a 62% movie. Let me know what you think of this movie down in the comment section below. Well, what do you think of Black Adam? Do you want him to change into a more typical hero or stay as the badass he is right now? I say badass now. Let me know what you think. Peace.